Well, welcome to Augustana Lutheran Church, and thank you for taking the time to attend our event celebrating the initial campaign of our 50 for 50 fundraiser. This is the first in a series of events to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Augustana Foundation. Todd and I, being the last two chairs of the foundation board, were asked to co-chair this event. We'd like to think because we were best suited for it, because we had spent the last decade leading the board, but I don't know if that's necessarily the case. But certainly what was helpful, I think, in certainly willing to sign on for this event is the work that we did with 40 for 40, which was 10 years ago already. That's the amazing thing about how time flies. I know that neither one of us have grown any older during that decade, but certainly wiser. But it's certainly an interesting thing to talk about in the sense that we're two of the 16 members of the congregation over the last 50 years that have been president of the board of directors for the foundation, and two of approximately 100 members of the congregation who have served on the board over its existence. Now, Todd, at the last time that we sort of did this foundation fundraiser activity, you were able to do some research into the beginnings of the foundation and also its history. Tell us a little bit about the foundation for people that maybe aren't aware of what the foundation is all about.
Well, like lots of institutions, the foundation had modest beginnings. And 50 years ago, 1971, like many churches, Augustana had a collection of bequests and memorials that people had given to the congregation. And the congregation decided and voted to create the foundation board and fund that would combine those existing memorials and bequests, and that became the seed of the much larger foundation fund that we have today. Over the years, giving to the foundation has followed a fairly consistent pattern. Most of the contributions have come from wills and bequests, probably more than $2.5 million over the decades. And then the foundation always has received a steady stream of smaller memorials that members often give in memory of a friend or a family member, or in honor of a friend or family. So I think the church and the foundation have been very fortunate to build that up, and talk a little bit about where the money has gone.
Yeah, I mean, what's amazing about the corpus of the foundation, the monies certainly that have been given have been wisely invested, and so that the foundation has been able to use those funds. They've given out grants of almost $3 million, $2.9 million over the last 50 years, and those include about $1.1 million to the church itself. You look at our facilities and the almost $500,000 of renovations that have been done over the years relating to keeping our real property safe and usable, as well as helping the youth go to mission trips both domestically and internationally. We've certainly helped to support our excellent music program, the 9 health fair, baptismal gifts for members that hopefully are entering the congregation and staying with us. But so many other initiatives, the Early Learning Center and all of the other ministries that the church has have many times been started by grants from the foundation. And the membership of the church has been so dearly blessed by those gifts that have been given. You know, one of the things that we don't talk enough about is the scholarships that the foundation has given to over 30 individuals to go to college. Almost $250,000 in scholarships over the years for individuals to attend Lutheran colleges and seminaries. But that's the internal things that the foundation has done. What about the external things, the things that we've done in the community?
Right. The foundation has always felt, successive boards have always felt the importance of supporting organizations outside of Augustana in helping them with their ministries. The foundation has consistently given to Lutheran organizations, so Lutheran Family Services, Rocky Mountain Synod, church camps, campus ministry at Boulder and Fort Collins, and lots of other organizations within the community, groups like Metro Carrier. So the foundation and its gifts have provided a way for the congregation to reach into the broader community too. It's important to remember again that the work and the gifts wouldn't be possible without the support of the congregation and all the people who give you the foundation. I talked a minute ago about that tradition of requests that have supported the foundation. We are the foundation, current foundation board, felt it was important now on a big anniversary like the 50th to reach out and try to raise some significant support in this 50 for 50 campaign. Foundation, Kevin and I are just kind of the figureheads or the talking heads in the foundation board and church staff like Lou Goodrum, Lisa McCulloch, Emily Friesen have really provided tremendous support for this effort, and we're very grateful for that.
Well, that's all really good information. I think it's helpful for people to sort of understand the background and maybe a little bit more about the foundation to remind us of how much a part of Augustana it is. I think with that, we should introduce Pastor Ann, senior pastor at Augustana Lutheran Church, a member of the foundation board of directors and its gifts and grants committee. Pastor Ann will say a few words about the role of the foundation at Augustana, its outreach efforts, and the significant impact that grants made by the foundation have had on many organizations throughout the community.
Thanks, Kevin and Todd. I would say that the Augustana Foundation is something that not very many of our members think about on a daily or weekly basis by any means. There are not many congregations that are blessed with the kind of resources and the kind of financial ability to give grants like Augustana is. As you just heard, it's just this amazing resource for our congregation, but also for ministries and organizations, both in our wider Denver area community and around the country, and also around the world. Several years ago, we formulated a new mission statement for Augustana, which is celebrating God's grace. We welcome everyone to worship Jesus, grow in faith, and go serve in the world. I would say clearly the Augustana Foundation is a vital force for helping us live out those core values of worship, grow, and go. As Kevin and Todd said, sometimes it's easy to see the results of grants that are made, say, to the property committee. We come to worship, or we come for a choir rehearsal or another activity, and the flagstone steps that have been here for 60 years are redone, repaired, refinished as part of that grant from the Augustana Foundation. Or something very concrete like the youth summer mission trip, where we hear from adults and from young people the impact that that summer trip has had on their life and on their faith. We might not always be aware, we might not always think about the impact that grants make in our much wider community as we reach out to those around us to fulfill that core value of go. Money that's been invested in Augustana Arts has helped them initiate and broaden City Strings to morph into a different program now called Music Encounters, which brings not just string instruments, but other instruments and music lessons to children in Title I schools all around the metro area. I have to tell you that the children who develop and become musicians in that program are impacted, but so are their whole families who see what the children can do and are so proud of what they have achieved musically and get to hear them and to watch them perform. Grants from the foundation every year also help support Lutheran Family Services Rocky Mountains. Our our service organization in this area and their mission, which is a mission that we share to offer help, healing, and hope to children and foster parents, older adults, refugees, and asylum seekers. In the past year, we made a grant to the Indonesian Lutheran Church that worships here in the Denver area. We help them partner with the churches and the communities and the people that they know back home in Indonesia to rebuild and to repair a badly damaged home that's used to serve disabled children and their families. Those grants to Metro Caring Food Bank have helped them not only provide food to families who face food insecurity, but also have helped them educate children and adults and families about the importance of good nutrition. This list of how the foundation has had an impact beyond these walls could go on and on. Those grant applications that come to the foundation 4 times a year are thoroughly vetted by the Gifts Committee so that we can be sure that the money that is given is used in ways that is consistent with our mission as a church and that has a positive impact on the community and on the world. The money that has been raised as part of this wonderful 50 to 50, 5450 campaign will help us to continue this legacy of support and also outreach to others. Now I'd like to introduce to you Kari Blanchard, who is the current president of the Augustana Foundation, and she will tell us more about everything that is coming up in this anniversary year for the foundation. Kari?
Thank you, Pastor Ann. Yes, I am here to tell you that there is more than the 50 for 50 campaign for this 50th anniversary celebration. 50 years is a very long time for any organization to survive, and this one has really thrived for 50 years. Back in 1971, a group of people had a really, really good idea. They put $17,000 in a fund that has now grown to $3 million. And even more amazingly, almost $3 million of that income from that fund has been given away in grants. It's just amazing, and this campaign has grown the principle of the fund. So I'm starting to picture someone standing, maybe right here, 50 years from now, saying, we have given away this much in those 50 years. And I don't think it's too big of a thought when you think how long it's already been in existence. This campaign was just the first of 4 things that are happening this year. We have 5 more months to do more things. And one of the things that's important is education. The foundation is something I think most people know about, but they don't know all about it. They wonder things like, how does it work? Who's in it? Who decides this? How is it invested? So we have 3 lunch and learns meetings set for this coming June, the 3 middle Wednesdays of June, 45 minutes at noon. It'll be a virtual thing that will also be recorded. So the first one, we'll talk about grateful generosity and the gifts coming in. So the foundation is kind of easy, 3 things. The gifts come in, the money is invested, and the grants go out. But there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff underneath that we just work hard at. These folks know about it because they were there on the board. A lot of us didn't know about that. I always had questions when I'd go to the annual meetings. What about this? What about that? So here's a chance. 3 lunch and learn meetings. Bill Crossan will be leading those, and he has put in a ton of effort here. He and I have worked together on the finance piece of the foundation, but I can't even describe what he has done toward getting ready for this piece. Then in July and August, we talk about the money that goes out. Here's a change. We have this idea. I shouldn't say we, a certain person named Marilyn Stember had some great ideas that are coming across here this week, this whole year. We are going to, normally somebody writes for a grant, put it in our little mailbox, or sometimes now they email it to us. And we study it on the Gifts and Grants Committee. This time, we're asking for 3-minute videos to send in, and then we'll have a grant competition for a certain amount of money that we are able to give away this year. These 3-minute videos can be from anybody. So if you've ever sat at a meeting and said, I wonder why we never give money to something I'm interested in, here's your chance. You can go talk to that agency. It's usually not yourself. Like, I want it myself. It's you want to encourage them to turn in a 3-minute video. Now you have had a say. This money belongs to our church. We are the church. Everybody can have a say. This is an idea that we think will make a difference, not just for the money that will be given away this year, but we'll learn of more people. Because sitting there waiting for the mail to come in, compared to having people actively thinking, we could make a real difference over here. The ideas are out here. So that's happening in July and August, and you'll see more notifications about that. We'll start receiving them in July. I don't want to give away the big event at the end, but I have to in this case, because the announcement of who wins those grants will be made at our November gala. So 5 months from now, we will be meeting. We have an event planned here, we hope. It'll be a hybrid, in person, a huge celebration, a gala celebration event for everyone in the church, for people who have been on the board, people who have received scholarships, et cetera, et cetera. More on that to come. But the committee that has been formed for this, you may have seen Marilyn's Help Wanted ad in the tower. There's a really good team. So look forward to that, and we're hoping everyone will be watching these. A lot of articles being put in the tower this year as well, that by the end of the year, people will know a lot more about the foundation. So consider this end of the 50 for 50 the beginning of the rest of the 5 months, where we continue to celebrate. We show what's going on with the foundation, we get everybody involved, and we end the year on November 5th at the gala. So I'll turn it back to Todd and Kevin.
Thank you. Sound very exciting. I love the part about the video pictures. So now's the time when we find out how this first phase of the 50-50 campaign has gone.
We really need a drum roll, I think. There you go.
Bill Stemmer and Bill Crossan.
Go right in front of us. You gotta. There you go. There you go.
So here we have the standard big check that shows the progress of the 50-50 campaign up to now. And we have raised $29,400.
Woo!
And at this point, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Marilyn and Bill, who have really been the brains behind this.
They're the leaders of this operation.
And done the hard work that has led to this result. And we are very, very grateful.
We are very pleased with the result and all those that have donated so far. Of course, we've got a ways to go yet, because 50 for 50, we're obviously looking for a little bit more money from everybody. We've thanked the board members to begin with, to starting this effort off with the matching of the first $10,000. And then those of you out in the congregation that have been contacted and have been so gracious to give your gifts so far. It's one of those campaigns where we're looking for giving early and often. We want to thank all of you for visiting with us tonight and attending this event either in person or on the web. We want to now invite Daniel Romero and Ave, who've agreed to help us conclude our evening. We're grateful for them to joining us live. We had given them the opportunity to provide a recorded performance, and they chose to come in and spend some time with us and with you. Ave has always done a wonderful job in everything that they do, and we're looking forward to their performance tonight. So take it away, Ave.